He's a little overwhelmed. For the last year or so, he's been looking at the theoretical possibility of a prison sentence. He's very relieved. He also has acknowledged, even this morning, the tragic nature of this case. I mean, he was truly put in an impossible position. He doesn't forget by any means that Ms. Danner lost her life. But on a personal level, obviously, he's very relieved that he's not looking at a prison sentence.
Does he feel let down by the mayor or the police commissioner?
I think we all do. Quite honestly, this case is a classic example of why you don't prejudge these incidents. And there was a very quick rush to judgment on this case before the facts were in. We learned through the course of the trial that a lot of that had to do with misinformation that had relayed from unreliable witnesses. And that information was communicated to the department, which resulted in a misunderstanding of what actually happened in that room. And that misunderstanding led to a predetermination and a prejudgment. And the greater sin was the mayor went public with it and voiced his opinion at a very early stage in this proceeding, in this incident. So yeah, there's a sense of betrayal when, you know, your city officials and elected leaders make a predetermination when they really don't have the facts. And that's why we say all the time, don't make a decision, don't judge the case until you hear all the evidence.
Question for you with Derek with Channel 7. Would Sergeant Derek done anything differently? Could he go back in time and change this?
Of course. I mean, if you're asking me, he would have taken the day off if he had known that it was going to end with the death of an emotionally disturbed 66-year-old woman and his ultimate indictment. But that was the entire crux of the prosecution's case, was, well, he could have done something different, and if he did, this never would have happened. And that's a ridiculous proposition, and it always was, which is why the prosecution never had any traction. And the judge said as much. The judge said that not only did they not prove that he wasn't justified, but they never proved that he did or committed any criminal act anyway.
But as far as like the way he handled himself in the moment,
the way he handled himself in the moment was entirely appropriate, and it was entirely consistent with the training that he received from the New York City Police Department. It was entirely consistent with good police tactics. He attempted to take her into his custody only using his hands, unaware that she had secreted a weapon and was about to use it against him. So his tactics in rushing Miss Danner to grab her was exactly what the NYPD trains its officers to do. So no, he wouldn't have changed anything at the moment.